The universe was vast, a seemingly infinite tapestry of stars, planets, and mysteries. Yet, for all its enormity, it felt precariously fragile when the asteroid appeared. Hurtling through the darkness of space, it was a harbinger of destruction, aimed directly at Earth. Scientists around the globe scrambled for solutions, their calculations grim. There was no doubt, humanity was in peril. On board the Orbital Observation Station Atlas, Dr. Elara Monroe stared at the holographic display. The asteroid, nicknamed Nemesis, spun slowly, a monstrous rock blotting out the stars behind it. It was the size of a small moon, and its trajectory was unwavering. The world needed a miracle, and miracles were in short supply. Across the galaxy, in the outer reaches of the Zilthan cluster, Kael, a seasoned bounty hunter from the alien race known as the Thracians, was finishing a routine job. With his reptilian features and iridescent scales that shimmered under the twin suns of a distant planet, Kael was a striking figure. His kind were known for their agility, intelligence, and ruthless efficiency. Yet, Kael had always been different. Beneath his tough exterior lay a spark of curiosity and an unshakable moral compass. Kael's communicator buzzed. Incoming message from the Universal Coalition, it chirped. He tapped the device, and a holographic projection of a human ambassador appeared. Kael, we have an urgent situation, the ambassador began, their voice tinged with desperation. Earth is facing annihilation. An asteroid is on a collision course, and our technology cannot stop it. We need your expertise. Kael's brow furrowed. He had avoided Earth's politics and problems, preferring the solitude of the hunt. But the weight of the request lingered. Why me? He asked, his voice a low growl. You're one of the best strategists in the galaxy. And, you're not afraid to take risks. Please, Kael. Millions of lives depend on this. After a moment's hesitation, Kael nodded. I'll need a partner. Someone who knows Earth and its technology. Back on the Atlas, Elara's communicator beeped. She'd spent years in space, studying asteroids and cosmic phenomena. Now, she was being asked to help stop one. The Universal Coalition's envoy explained the plan, an interspecies collaboration to intercept Nemesis. Elara would represent humanity. When Elara and Kael first met aboard a coalition ship, their initial interaction was strained. Kael, with his imposing stature and sharp wit, viewed Elara's cautious optimism as naivety. Elara, in turn, found Kael's brusqueness grating. But they had no time to dwell on their differences. The plan was ambitious. Using a prototype spacecraft equipped with a gravitational disruptor, they would alter Nemesis' trajectory. However, the disruptor required precise manual adjustments, and the asteroid's unpredictable rotations made this perilous. To succeed, they needed trust and cooperation. Their journey to Nemesis was fraught with challenges. Space debris, mechanical failures, and the ever-present tension between them tested their resolve. Yet, in the quiet moments, when the vastness of space enveloped them, they found common ground. Elara shared stories of Earth's beauty, its oceans and forests, and the resilience of its people. Kael spoke of his homeworld, its towering crystalline cities, and the Thracians' reverence for the cosmos. As they approached Nemesis, its surface loomed large and jagged, an alien landscape of craters and shadows. Landing was treacherous, but Kael's piloting skills ensured their survival. Together, they navigated the asteroid's surface, their suits equipped with thrusters to counteract its weak gravity. Setting up the gravitational disruptor was painstaking. The device required precise placement, and the asteroid's erratic spin made every moment critical. As they worked, Nemesis' proximity to Earth grew ever closer, the planet's blue hue visible in the distance. When the disruptor was finally activated, it emitted a low hum, its energy field enveloping the asteroid. But something went wrong. A fissure on Nemesis' surface destabilized, causing violent tremors. The disruptor's core overloaded, threatening to explode. We need to shut it down manually. Elara shouted over the din. Kael nodded, his movements swift and deliberate. Together, they braved the chaos, their combined efforts averting disaster. The disruptor recalibrated, and Nemesis' course shifted, narrowly avoiding Earth. Returning to the coalition ship, Elara and Kael were hailed as heroes. But their journey didn't end there. Inspired by their success, they formed an unlikely partnership, taking on missions that spanned the galaxy. From tracking intergalactic fugitives to resolving disputes on distant planets, they became known as the Stellar Wardens. Through their adventures, their bond deepened. They learned from each other's strengths and perspectives, proving that even the most unlikely alliances could change the course of history. And as they looked out at the stars, they knew their story was just beginning. As Kael and Elara gazed out at the infinite expanse of stars, they were filled with a sense of purpose that transcended their individual pasts. The success of their mission to save Earth had cemented their place in the annals of intergalactic history, but it also left them yearning for more challenges, more mysteries, and more opportunities to make a difference in a galaxy often teetering on the edge of chaos. One day, while stationed on a coalition base orbiting a gas giant, an encrypted message arrived. The sender was anonymous, but the content was urgent. It spoke of a relic, a device known as the Eclipse Core, hidden deep within the ruins of an ancient civilization on a remote and hostile planet. The relic was said to hold the power to stabilize, or destabilize, the fabric of spacetime itself. Kael and Elara were intrigued. The mission was dangerous, the planet uncharted, and the stakes immeasurable. It was exactly the kind of challenge they had come to embrace. Together, they set out aboard their newly upgraded ship, the Stellar Vow, equipped with advanced technology gifted by the Coalition as a token of gratitude. The journey to the planet, known as Ixalan, was fraught with peril. Solar flares from a dying star scorched their path, and gravitational anomalies threatened to pull the ship off course. But Kael's steady hand at the controls and Elara's quick calculations guided them through the dangers. When they arrived, Ixalan revealed itself as a world of extremes. Towering crystalline spires pierced the sky, while the ground below was a shifting sea of molten glass. The ruins of the ancient civilization lay buried beneath layers of volatile terrain, accessible only through narrow tunnels carved eons ago. Every step was a test of their endurance and ingenuity. Inside the ruins, they encountered automated defenses, mechanical guardians that had been dormant for millennia but now awakened to protect the Eclipse Core. Working in tandem, Kael used his agility and combat skills to outmaneuver the guardians, while Elara hacked into their ancient systems, deactivating traps and decoding the cryptic language of the long-lost civilization. At last, they reached the core chamber, a cavernous space illuminated by the pulsating glow of the Eclipse Core. The relic floated in the center, radiating a strange, otherworldly energy. But as they approached, a shadow emerged from the darkness, a rival faction, intent on taking the core for their own ends. The confrontation was intense. Kael's combat prowess and Elara's quick thinking allowed them to hold their ground, but the rival faction was well prepared. Just as the battle reached its climax, the core's energy surged, distorting time and space around them. Past, present, and future collided in a kaleidoscope of visions. In one vision, Kael saw a galaxy united in peace, with the core at its heart as a stabilizing force. In another, he saw it twisted into a weapon of unimaginable destruction. Elara, too, saw glimpses of a thriving Earth, of a fractured coalition, and of herself and Kael, standing together at the center of it all. Realizing the core's potential for both creation and devastation, they made a fateful decision. Rather than let it fall into the wrong hands, they triggered a containment sequence, sealing the core within the ruins forever. The rival faction retreated, and the chamber began to collapse. Kael and Elara barely escaped with their lives, racing back to the Stellar Vow as the ruins were swallowed by the volatile planet. As they left Ixalan, they reflected on their journey. They had faced insurmountable odds, forged an unbreakable partnership, and ensured the galaxy's future remained in the hands of those who would protect it. The eclipse core, now lost to time, was a reminder of the delicate balance they fought to preserve. Their exploits continued, each mission shaping their legacy as the Stellar Wardens. Together, they explored the farthest reaches of the galaxy, their bond growing stronger with every challenge. And though the stars stretched endlessly before them, they knew one thing for certain: wherever the next call for help came, they would answer it, side by side, guardians of a galaxy filled with wonder and possibility. The story of Kael and Elara was far from over. The stars held countless secrets, and their journey had only begun. As they ventured deeper into the galaxy, a new challenge emerged, a whisper of an ancient prophecy tied to the mysterious eclipse core they had sealed away. One evening, aboard the Stellar Vow, Elara discovered a cryptic transmission embedded in the ship's systems. The transmission spoke of the convergence, a cosmic event said to align the energy of the entire universe. The prophecy claimed that the core would reawaken during this alignment, and its energy could either restore harmony to the cosmos or unravel reality itself. Kael, leaning against the control panel, watched as Elara decoded the message. "The galaxy has a way of dragging us back into the fire," he muttered. "This isn't just the galaxy, Kael," Elara said, her eyes locked on the holographic display. "This is everything. If the convergence is real, the core could either save or destroy all existence. We can't ignore this." Despite their exhaustion from past battles, the duo agreed to investigate. The transmission originated from a long-forgotten sector of space known as the Veil Nebula, a region cloaked in anomalies and legend. It was said to be the birthplace of the beings who created the Eclipse Core, a race known only as the Architects. The journey to the Veil Nebula was unlike anything they had experienced. Navigating the shifting tides of gravity and fields of plasma storms required every ounce of Kael's skill and Elara's ingenuity. They encountered echoes of forgotten civilizations, fragments of ships that had vanished centuries ago, and creatures adapted to the strange environment. At the heart of the nebula, they found a massive structure, an ancient architect's sanctuary, hidden for eons. Its exterior shimmered with the same energy they had seen in the Eclipse Core, confirming its connection. The sanctuary opened to them as if it had been waiting, its corridors aglow with a hauntingly beautiful light. Inside, they discovered an advanced intelligence left behind by the architects, a construct named Solon. It appeared as a radiant, humanoid figure, its form composed of swirling light and data. Solon explained the truth of the Eclipse Core and the convergence. The core had been designed as a failsafe, a way to restore balance to a chaotic universe. However, the architects had feared its power and sealed it away, leaving their sanctuary as a guide for those who might one day face its awakening. "You have already touched the core's power," Solon said, its voice resonating like a symphony. "You are bound to its fate. When the convergence begins, the core will call to you. You must decide its purpose." Elara's mind raced. The responsibility was immense. "What if we choose wrong?" she asked. "The core amplifies the will of those who wield it," Solon replied. "Your choices will shape the galaxy's future. But remember, no choice is without consequence." Before they could ask more, the sanctuary trembled. A rival faction, the same one they had faced on Ixalan, had followed them. This time, they brought reinforcements, mercenaries and ships armed with advanced weaponry. They sought to claim the core's power for domination, and they would stop at nothing. Kael and Elara sprang into action. Using the sanctuary's ancient systems and their combined wits, they fought back. Kael's combat skills were unmatched, and Elara's quick thinking turned the sanctuary's defenses against their foes. Solon aided them, projecting illusions and guiding them through the labyrinthine corridors. In the final moments of the battle, the sanctuary's energy surged, creating a portal that led directly to the core's location. The rival faction, realizing their defeat, retreated, but not before vowing to return. Kael and Elara stood before the portal, knowing it was a point of no return. Solon's parting words echoed in their minds: "The convergence is near. Trust in each other, for together, you are stronger than any force in the galaxy. As they stepped through the portal, the sanctuary dissolved behind them, its purpose fulfilled. Beyond the threshold lay the core, pulsing with cosmic energy, and the first signs of the convergence, a shimmering cascade of stars aligning across the heavens. The galaxy watched as the two heroes faced their greatest challenge yet. The fate of existence rested in their hands, and their story was far from over. Together, Kael and Elara prepared to make the ultimate choice, knowing their bond would guide them through the light and the darkness, forging a future for all who called the stars home.